Happy to be here, guys. Happy to be here. We are back. Dino Bros. 100 XP for joining the stream. Hope you guys are doing all right, man. And if you're not, well, you know the rules here. That is all right. Hope you guys are doing all right. The verse of the day is going to be, and I'll put it up in the chat so you guys can see it. It's going to be Psalm 33, verse 4. For the word of the Lord is upright, and all his work is done in faithfulness. He loves righteousness and justice, and the earth is full of the steadfast love of the Lord. By the word of the Lord the heavens were made, and by the breath of his mouth all their hosts. He gathers the waters of the sea as a heap. He puts the deep in storehouses. Let all the earth fear the Lord, and let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. Again, that's Psalm 33. That's verses 4 through 9. But if you just read the whole thing, it's awesome, man. I really love the way that verse in particular just pays homage to what I call the sovereignty of God. This is something that helps me a lot. What's up, Ty V? Yo, everybody, let's welcome our brother Ty V into the chat here. Appreciate you being here, brother. Hope you're doing all right, man. But if you're not, that is all right. We're about to get started here very shortly. I'm going to go ahead and post the verse of the day for y'all in the chat so that in case you missed me speaking on that, I'll put that up for you. Again, it was Psalm 33, verses 4 through 9. I mean, I love this part, man, right here, where it says, by the word, this is verse 6, by the word of the Lord the heavens were made, and by the breath of his mouth all of their hosts. Like, people will try to make you feel like stupid for believing in God, right? But literally, it's so comforting, man. It's so comforting to believe that there was a creator who created this whole crazy space, that despite the darkness we face, despite the craziness we face, that by the breath of his word, things were made. This is the peace that Jesus finds when he says, look at the birds, man. Look how well taken care of the birds are and how they've been finding their food for thousands and millions of years. It's God that does that. And if he's going to take care of them, how much more will he take care of us? Jesus also says to look at the lilies of the field, or the flowers, right? Have you ever just looked at a flower? Like, it gets all the nutrients it needs, all the sun it needs, all the water it needs to survive. And God makes sure of that. So he's going to make sure you're all right too. We're going to get started here very shortly, guys. If you're just joining the stream here today and you don't believe in God, that is totally okay. We still love you and we still have space for you here. Ultimately, this channel and these live streams are now becoming a space where we can share our thoughts, share our faith, share our feelings, and just relax, man. Just literally to take a load off, because look, guys, the world is crazy, okay? The world is absolutely insane, and there's a lot of darkness there. There's a lot of uncertainty there. And there's a lot of people who will tell you confidently what to believe and what to think, and they themselves have no clue what they're doing. Now, for me, if you're just following me now, or maybe you know Moon Kid, you're like, Moon Kid, here you are yapping about God again. But I can't stop, man. I'm somebody who was raised in the church, went away from it because I didn't believe it was real, went to do my own research, only to find out it's very real. And a lot of these religions, a lot of different spiritual teachers, they kind of all tend to teach the same thing. But the reason why I draw so closely to Jesus specifically is his philosophy when it comes to forgiveness, compassion, and grace. I mean, this is a guy who's telling you to love your enemies because only loving those who love you doesn't gain you anything. That's pretty intense. And maybe you could sit here and say, well, don't the Buddhists say that, Moon Kid? Well, go find a Buddhist verse that says that then, and we can have a discussion. One of my closest friends, one of my best friends in the world, he's going to be my best man at my wedding. He's a Buddhist. He's like a Zen Buddhist. I believe in Jesus. I love Jesus. That's my guy. So I guess the whole point of me even sharing any of this and welcoming you guys in here is that, what do you believe in? And how can we build you up to where you have confidence to talk about what you believe in? We do a lot of shaming in the gamer community. We do a lot of shaming amongst brothers, amongst men. We shame each other for having passion, for having belief. And we're just not doing that here today. We're here to accept you guys. We're here to love you guys, because I believe that that's what Jesus does for me. So I like to give that same compassion and grace to other people. But like I said, I hope you guys are doing all right, man. But if you're not, that is totally okay. I experienced depression. I experienced anxiety. And as a man who experiences those things, I know what it's like to just not be okay. And I know what it's like to feel scared. I know what it's like to feel uncertain about yourself. I know what it's like to feel frustrated by yourself. I hated myself for years, gamers. I used to really, really hate myself. But even doing this YouTube channel and starting to do all these videos, I feel like it was God's gift to me to learn how to love myself again. I feel like doing this YouTube channel taught me how to view myself in a different light, and God's been teaching me how to love myself. And because of that, because of the freedom that I've experienced there, because of the freedom that I experience in my faith, because of the freedom that I experience in reading the Bible and reading those verses, I want to be able to give that to you guys as well. Like I said, we are still going to have, plenty of videos, playthroughs, video games. We're still going to be doing lives where I get on here and I play video games. But for the most part, again, I just really want to welcome you guys in here. I want to make sure that everybody feels safe and feels welcome to discuss whatever it is you feel is on your heart to discuss. Like I said, and I've said before on many other live streams, if you are watching this and you have questions, excuse me, or if you just have comments that you want to send my way, feel free to type them in the chat. But if not, feel free to just sit back, relax, and kick it to some relaxing music and a Jesus freak talk about his faith. But like I said, I hope you guys are doing all right, man. It's been a pretty intense and rough couple of weeks for me. Hell yeah, dude. Yo, we just got another awesome gamer in the chat. Let's welcome Red Hoodie, guys. Super cool guy. Appreciate you guys being here today. We're gonna be hanging out for a while today. Just talking, hanging out, relaxing, spending some time in the mind, and spending some time getting each other outside of our minds. Appreciate you being here today, Red. Appreciate you being here, Dino Bros. Appreciate you being here, Ty V. And appreciate anybody else who might be watching this later on. We love you, we cherish you, and we pray that if you are someone who's watching this right now and you're experiencing depression and you're experiencing anxiety, or you're just experiencing uncertainty of who you are, I pray that God reaches towards you with his infinite love. I pray that you feel the surrounding presence of God in your life today, guys. And I pray that you feel relief from depression. And we spit on depression today, baby. I pray for relief over your guys' minds and hearts in Jesus' name. But we're here today, guys. We're alive and we're thankful, man. I woke up this morning in a bit of an adult tantrum, I guess you could say. 100 XP for being here. Let's get this thing started. Jameson, let's get it started. We're back. We're back. I forgot to make them clap for me. I'm sorry. Yeah. We're back. What it do? Hey. Where the fuck is Jeff? Guys, where's Jeff? Oh God, guys, I have to go find Jeff. Hold on. Jeff. Oh my God, Jeff, what are you doing? That's not what you usually look like, Jeff. That's fine. But I hope you guys are doing okay, man. Like I said, I woke up this morning having a bit of an adult tantrum. And what I mean by that is it's mornings when I wake up and I just don't feel like myself. And the self that I feel like I want to rage against, and the self that I feel like I get angry at. But I don't know if you're like me. Let me explain it like this. There's a lot of times I'll get mad. I'll get very upset. And sometimes I'll say things I don't mean. Sometimes I'll get so mad that I just kind of start saying things that are hurtful. And then when that happens, let's say if I've said something hurtful to my beautiful fiance, which in this case, I was being just kind of a jerk. I woke up angry this morning. But then after I realize that I've hurt somebody, sometimes I spiral myself into a worse state than before. And this is what I mean by this. I'll become angry. I'll say or do something that maybe wasn't the nicest or the best. And then I'll get angry that I got angry and then proceed to beat myself up for the rest of the day. Now, I want to read something to you guys. Because this is a common problem that I have, and I'm serious. Like, a lot of times I'll get mad, I'll say something stupid, and then I'll feel bad, and then guilt will just be on my head the rest of the day. And I don't know if you guys have heard me before when I've said guilt is the heaviest thing a man can carry without his hands. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, we got a gamer setting up their gamer setup, dude. Hell yeah. Applause for Ty V for getting that going, man. Happy for you, bro. That's what's up, man. Oh, I'll check that out for sure. We always celebrating the homies on here. Let me see that. Oh, my bad, bro. I didn't see your message before about Jackalak. I'm glad that you're able to reach out to him. Love that guy. Shouts out Jackalak. Oh, hell yeah, gamer. Hell yeah, dude. That's looking nice, man. You got that looks like a solid 40-inch or 30-inch TV. Probably 30-inch monitor, I mean. Solid, bro. That chair looks comfy, man. Hell yeah, you got the Xbox up. Hell yeah, bro. Good shit, man. And that's a cool desk, too. That's compact. It's kind of nice. I think I was looking at getting something pretty similar. Good shit, man. Proud of you, dog. Every man needs a gaming... Well, every gamer, I guess, needs a gaming station. But as I was saying, guys, if you ever have those moments, if you're like me and you have moments where you're maybe you had an outburst, right? Do your best not to let guilt creep in. And of course, Ivy, gotcha, bro. This is something, thank God, and seriously, thank you, God, for my partner, my beautiful fiance. She's so kind and so forgiving and so gracious that even if we do have a little tiff, or I'm being kind of, just a jerk, she'll always come to me at some point and be like, hey, you know what? I'm sorry for what I did. And it breaks me out of that cycle. Thankfully, we were able to, talk about it, everything. We're all good. But again, I kind of want to bring the subject to talking about men's mental health, especially after we make a mistake. Because often we can make a mistake and we'll go and say something we don't mean. For me, this morning, I said something really mean, and I couldn't even remember what it was, but I just remember that it was mean, and then I just saw that she was hurt about it, and I was like, man, Moon Kid, why'd you do that, man? Why'd you say that shit? And instead of getting better a lot of times in my past, it reminded me of how in my past I would cycle through and just feel guilty, and I just couldn't get past anything. One second. And what I realized is that in order to overcome this frustration, we have to be able to recognize that there is spirit, or what you could call mind, and there's body. And, well, to be honest, there's soul and there's body. The mind is kind of the midway point between the two. A good way to explain this is like this. When you were born, do you remember that? Probably not. Your first, and here's a good question to ask the immediate audience. Try to remember your very first memory. Just take a couple minutes. Try to remember your very first memory, like the first thing you ever remember ever. Just take a couple minutes and think about that. And if you've taken some time to think about that, if you're watching this later, it's fine. You can pause it and take some more time. The focus here isn't the memory. The focus here is the fact that we are technically our memory. What we remember is what we enact in life. And our very first memory, for me, I was looking at this fountain. I was in a stroller, it's just shot to me in a plane, because my family was going to Disney. We were going to Disneyland. My very first memory. My first memory wasn't me popping out of my mom. If it was, then that would constitute that I am my body. The second my body materializes, if I am totally, completely my body, then I would remember the second my body materialized. No, my body had to materialize first, and the mind came after, the consciousness, the spirit. And oftentimes, although our bodies, and this is just me speaking literally, like I'm not even trying to bring too much religion or spirituality into it. I'm just saying, if you are your body, then why don't you remember being born? The second you were materialized in your mother, it's because you're not your body. Your body was materialized to hold and be a vessel for your spirit. And for your first memory to be random moment, random consciousness, that means that it's coming from somewhere. This is exactly what Jesus was referring to in his language of the day when he was saying that there is spirit and there is flesh. The word flesh being translated to like the body, this thing. And oftentimes the body, although it holds the mind and it holds the spirit, the body sometimes wants different things than the spirit wants, because the body is just responding to the immediate outside influence, right? But check this out. In Romans 7, Paul actually relates to this. And he's talking, and in Romans 7, he starts talking about how the Bible exists to convict us, but it isn't our God. So he says this right here. For we know that the law, namely the Bible, this is Romans 7:14. We know that the law is spiritual, but I am of flesh, so I'm bound to this body. For I do not understand my own actions. For I don't do what I want, but I do the things that I hate. This is Romans 7:15. For I don't understand my own actions. I don't do what I want. I do the things that I hate. Now, if I do what I don't want to do, I agree with the Bible that it is good. So now it is no longer I who did it, but my nature that dwells in me. For I know there's nothing that good that dwells inside of the body. And when he uses the word good, he means everlasting. There's nothing lasting inside of the body that is inside the body. And he just says this is verse 18. For I know that nothing good dwells in me, for I have the desire to do what is right, but not the ability to carry it out. Guys, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. Yo, a lot of people try to convince you that the Bible is bad. Bro, I just read a verse about a guy being like, dude, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I do what I don't want to do, and I what I want to do, I don't do. I do the things that I hate most of the time. How relatable is that? And that's not to like beat you over the head with the Bible and be like, repent. I mean, yeah, maybe if you're doing some shit that's not good for you, but like, that's even the whole point of the word repent. Like, a lot of Christians use the word repent without defining it. The word repent literally is a word that means to turn around. So if you're doing something that's harming your mind, or do it like you have a habit that's like killing your ability to see yourself as worthy of love, then yeah, turn around from that and go do something else. That's the whole point. And I was experiencing what I was experiencing this morning, thinking of that verse where Paul's like, bro, honestly, there's a lot of times I don't do what I want to do. I do the things that I hate, because my body is in contrary nature to what my spirit needs sometimes. My body will tell me that instead of actually having conversations with people and instead of actually reaching out to my friends, that I should just sit on TikTok and scroll for an hour, which I guess won't happen anymore because they're banning TikTok, but whatever. We're on Reels now. I'll meet you guys on Reels. But listen, man, all that yapping to say this. If you're a man or even a woman watching this and you have regrets about past decisions, or you have a regret about the way that you're choosing to live your life, number one, welcome to the club. Number two, there are dead guys that are thousands of years old that experienced exactly what you're experiencing, and they wrote about it in the Bible. There's a lot that I still don't understand to this day about the Bible. There's a lot that I have claimed to know, but I don't really know that much. I just know what helps me. I know what sheds light onto my depression and helps me feel lighter. I know what gives me joy. I know what saves me in my moments of life. But that's a good one there. I like Romans 7. Romans 7, if you can consume it like just as a literary piece, like you don't even have to go into it as the Bible, just reading it as if your English teacher was like, all right, I need you to break this down and understand what this says, which is how I read it. It was actually, that was kind of how I started believing in the Bible, was because instead of reading it like, this is the word of God, I just started reading it just to see like, what the fuck, what is this shit, right? And if you can read things just objectively, like this is a sentence, allow me to construct it, figure out the noun, the verb, the adverb, the adjectives, and understand, what's going on there, right? Because for me, I was someone who, like, you could tell me anything as convincingly as you want, but I'm still gonna go back and fact check it. I'm still gonna go back and do my own research. Just because a lot of people will say shit and they'll be like, this is the way this is the way it is. And then you just do a couple of Google searches and you're like, I don't know about that one, chief. Like in the case that, a lot of people, you know how they talk about how mental health is in a crisis right now? If you haven't heard that, well, welcome to the world. The world is in mental health crisis right now. And even the people who are meant to help the people in crisis need help. And for me, don't hear me incorrectly. If you are in therapy, good. That is a great thing. Keep going to that. Awesome. But let's say you're someone that doesn't have access to therapy. Let's say you're someone that doesn't have access to friends that have your best interests in mind. Let's say you're not someone that has access to truth, but yet you're just subject to millions and millions of opinions just being shot at you a million miles an hour. Like, oh, if your girl does this, then you shut the fuck up. Shut up. Only if you guys knew how much you're actually being influenced. Why do you think they call them influencers? They're trying to influence you to something. See, when I started this channel, it was a little bit of like, let me dress myself up jokingly to just show how ridiculous it is to dress ourselves up as influence. But then it kind of stuck because, it's probably good to have a recognizable look, right? And I love Kurt Cobain. But I would say that with the amount of shit that's being thrown at y'all on a day-to-day basis, it might actually be worth it to start reading the Bible, bro. Or at least like something that's been solid for over 2,000 years. I'm not gonna trust the word of somebody that just talking to me right now. Motherfuckers will come at me talk about, nigga, you can't read the Bible. That shit was written by men, and how you know it's accurate. I'm like, nigga, where are you getting your facts? The internet? Twitter? Was it not coded and written by a man? You fucking dumbass. This is how I battle, all that demonic shit, bro. Cause like that, it low key is, bro. When people are like, oh, don't read that book. Why? because it might liberate me. It might help men that are struggling. Bro, go to Proverbs right now. I promise you, if you go to Proverbs and you just start, not even Proverbs, you know, we'll wait on Proverbs because Proverbs can be kind of deep. But like low key, bro. Okay, let's just read what Solomon has to say. The Proverbs of Solomon, who was a historical king. This is for any historical nuts out there that are like, I need my facts. The Bible was written by mystical, made up people. And it's like, all right, well, King Solomon was real. We can all agree on that. There's like the majority evidence pointing to the fact that King Solomon was a real guy. And we know that the Proverbs were historically written by majority him. Probably like 96% by him. In the first book of, if you open up the book of Proverbs, and it says the beginning of knowledge, the Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, which we won't get up, we won't talk about Israel right now. They fucking up right now, but it's all right. They'll come around. To know wisdom and instruction, to understand the words of insight, to receive instruction in wise dealing, in righteousness, justice, and equity, to give prudence to the simple, knowledge and discretion to the youth. Let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. To understand a proverb and a saying, the words of the wise and their riddles, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools, or another this is the Moon Kid translations, fucking idiots. Sorry, God. Despise wisdom and instruction. So anybody that's not willing to be instructed, anybody that's not willing to be corrected, oh, nah, bro, nah. You a fool. And I could say that confidently because I was one. And I had my own wisdom for 25 years. And you want to know where that got me? In a hospital bed, nigga. And it might not get you there at 25, but it'll get you in a hospital bed at 75 wishing that you made something out of your life instead of making the best comment. I know there's somebody across the screen. I'm speaking to you right now. I got love for y'all, but sometimes my older brother comes out and I start snapping on y'all. Because I know, y'all, that things go deeper than just the screen and things go deeper than just the words. Solomon says, hear, my son, your father's instruction, and forsake not your mother's teaching, for they are a graceful garland for your head, or like a scarf, like a covering. My son, if sinners, and I don't want you to get thrown off by the word sinners here. When the Bible uses the word sinners, it's a word that is meant to encapsulate someone who is fully engulfed by their desires. So someone who's like, I want money, I need that money. That's what they mean by a sinner. They don't mean someone who masturbates. That's not what they mean. What they mean is someone who is so consumed by masturbation that they can't see the truth, or they're unwilling to see it. So anytime you hear the word sinner in the Bible, just know it's not talking about you because you done looked at a fat ass today. It's fine. I looked at a fat ass too. I was like, hell yeah. But that's the thing, is we don't let it consume us. We don't let it become who we are. So it says right here, if sinners entice you, don't consent. If they say, come with us, let us lie in wait for violence. Let us ambush the innocent without reason. Like hell, let us swallow people alive. Like those who go down to the pit, we shall find all precious goods. We shall fill our houses with plunder. We gonna get that bread. That's what these people start sounding like, right? You gotta grind, you gotta get that bread. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Hold back your foot from their path, for their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed blood. For in vain is a net spread in the sight of any bird, but these men lie in wait for their own blood. They set an ambush for their own lives. Such, listen to this part, watch. Such are the ways of everyone who is greedy for unjust gain. It takes away the life of its possessors. Come on, y'all. Come on, bro. Don't fucking sit here and tell me that that's not wisdom. I'll beat y'all ass. Someone's watching this like, damn, bro, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding, really. I'm kind of, but at the same time, I'm not. Like that, I just took 5 minutes to read that. And the wisdom that that's given me could actually help someone who's being influenced by gang culture, right? Because y'all be listening to a lot of the rap music talking about, I bang this, I bang that, gang bang. Shut your ass up, bro. Only if you knew that there was a secret meeting in 1991 between a whole lot of hip-hop producers and artists about how they would agree with the federal government to make music that puts more kids in jail. Only if you knew. Truth is stranger than fiction, my boy. And y'all gotta realize something. That a lot of the wisdom that the world's giving you, they'll cover it. They cover their foolishness as liberation. I'm getting deep with y'all right now. They will cover their foolishness and disguise it as liberation. Talk about, that's the old way of doing things. It's the old, bro, if you don't shut your ass up, my boy, there are words of wisdom. And yes, there are a lot of things in the Bible that I don't understand, and we can seek out those answers together. But for 99.9% of the part, I will read this Bible and see so much truth that helps me. And if you anything like me, bro, if you was a skeptic, if you was an atheist, if you was agnostic, if you was, at one point I was pretty pagan, bro. I was doing some weird shit. Then you will understand the necessity to have truth in your life. And I'm not saying truth like this is the, you're not gonna find it nowhere else, because even the Bible says in Romans 1:20, it says that the invisible aspects of God are made known to man through all of creation. Not just the Sunday preacher, not just the no. It is everywhere, my nigga. Everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere. So don't, and you know what? Don't even let me convince you. You feel me? Go read it for yourself. Go pick up the book and go open up Psalms, and you get to about the 3rd or 4th chapter, and you tell me if that's bad for you. For real. That's how I feel. And I feel like a lot of people, they'll try to deter you, bro. They'll be like, bro, like, this ain't it, like Christianity ain't it. Don't let these bum ass Christians who don't know how to represent Jesus deter you from the real Jesus. You feel me? Because if you read the Bible, bro, as a story, not even as a spiritual book, you will realize 2 things. Number 1, Jesus was barely in a church. And when he was pushed out. And number 3, the 3rd fact, his prime antagonists were the religious leaders of the day. I shouldn't have to say much more than that. If your main antagonist is the religious leaders of the day that you're living in, well, it probably means that religion's not the answer. A whole lot of love is. We got Shift up here in the chat. Shift, we're doing a little new thing here called Level Up. Welcome to the stream. Drop a like if you know what I mean. Hope you're doing all right, bro. We're opening up the live streams here for a lot more of the just chatting, a lot more of the let's talk, a lot more of the let's be real. 1000 XP to Shift. That's my homeboy right there. That dude is holding up this channel with his bare hands right now. I appreciate you being here, man. But no, we're creating a space on these live streams, and I appreciate you guys joining yesterday. You guys kind of confirmed how cool this is and how relaxing this is. So I definitely want to keep up this this way of live streaming, and I think that it's also a way that God is kind of trying to reach into the now, and to reach some of y'all, because this isn't like an evangelist live stream. But again, if you're anything like me, I'm talking to you, bro. Don't make me reach to the screen. I'll grab you by your lapel, bro. If you're anything like me, depression has been your god for a long time. If you're anything like me, your mind has more hands than your hands do. If you don't know what I'm saying by that, what I mean is, and for those who are like perfectly medicated up right now. They don't know what I'm talking about. Allow me to speak for the rest of us depressed people when I say it is a daily fight. It is a fight with enemies that you can't see. It is a fight that makes enemies out of the people you love. It is a fight that makes you yourself an enemy. It's a fight that makes trust and love seem childish. It's a fight that makes things not sacred that should be sacred. Because what depression does is it comes in and it tells you all these convincing lies about yourself. When I graduated high school for a couple years, I lived in New York, and in this time when I was in New York, I was really heavily into the hidden books of the Bible, like what they took out. And I got very heavily obsessed specifically with the book of Mary Magdalene. The reason being is because in the canon Bible, she was very obviously the most sacred disciple to Jesus. And she seemed to have the most understanding of what he was trying to say. And something that she says in her book, which I love, and if you have the time, read the book of Mary Magdalene. If you have the capacity and the time, you might need to, because it's a little out there. It's like a little bit out there. But at one point she talks about the powers of the mind, and this is very important. She talks about desire. She talks about ignorance. She talks about, and she calls it the wisdom of the flesh, or another way to translate that is foolish wisdom that we make up ourselves. We're like, I don't gotta go to the doctors. I gotta, insert whatever. I do that kind of thing sometimes. But then she said after she had conquered these powers of the mind, that the struggle ascended upwards to another power that took 7 forms. And the strongest form that she discussed in the book was the power, listen to this, the power of the wrath of wisdom. This is very, very important because there is wisdom that can come from our heads, right? And I'll give you a perfect example so you don't have to sit and wonder. The wrath of wisdom can sound like, what the fuck you doing sitting down over there for? Don't you know you're wasting your life? You should get your ass up right now. It's wise, but it's wrathful. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 12, if I have wisdom but not love, I am like a loud banging cymbal with no purpose. We can convince ourselves oftentimes when we're in depressive episodes, oh damn, this music's kind of funky. Dang. We can convince ourselves when we're in depressive episodes of the wrath, watch this, of wisdom towards ourselves. And we'll say, I haven't done enough, I'm not good enough, yada, 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 yada. And it sounds right because it's based off of facts, but it's not delivered in love, so it doesn't move the heart. It doesn't move it towards action. It doesn't move it towards wisdom. It moves it into a perpetual state of loneliness. Because check this out. And I've been guilty of this. How you gonna get down on yourself for something you ain't had the time to fully pursue? How are you gonna get mad at yourself for not having the type of life that somebody else has, when you haven't had the same resources or setup to do that? Y'all be getting really, really, really hard on yourselves because you're seeing the lives of so many other people and how they progress and things like that. I'll give you some advice, bro. And you know what? Don't take any advice from me, but if you do, take this advice from me. And this might sound counterintuitive as someone who makes content. Delete all your social media for 1 week. Just 1 week. Or maybe, you know what? We'll go with the Jesus thing. 3 days. Just try 3 days and see how your perception changes. Gamers, I took last year, before I started this channel, I think it was 3 or 4 months away from social media. And the amount that changed my life is phenomenal. Because I realized not only how much was I listening to other people, but how much what I was listening to was affecting my decision-making process and how I looked at myself. Please guys, God, I pray for anybody watching this right now. Do not let the noise of the world quiet your soul. Don't let it do it. Because listen, even let's say you're, and this was me a couple years ago. Let's say you're someone that's really, really into conspiracies. And you're looking at conspiracies, and it can be really disheartening to look at conspiracies, because I'll tell you the truth, a lot of these conspiracies aren't conspiracies at all. They're just really well hidden truths. So for a lot of people to dive in, sometimes what happens is we'll get so consumed by the reality of evil, and we'll get so consumed by the disloyalty of the truth in the world that it'll begin to encroach on our mind this impression that it's all meaningless, that we're helpless, that we're inferior to the evil, that and for some people, they go far enough down rabbit holes where it scares the shit out of them, because they've realized how real a lot of this stuff is. And it makes them want to either one of two things: numb themselves from the reality, or two, try to take it on. But honestly, there's a third option you haven't thought about, and that's believing in something far more sovereign than that. I'm gonna have to take a moment here and look this up, because there's actually, I kid you not, an actual verse in the Bible that discusses conspiracies. Because guess what? Conspiracies are nothing new. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 12. But let's get the ESV. The reason why I like reading the ESV, gamers, it is probably the best accurate translation diluted from the Hebrew and the Greek that it was written in. So, like I said, let's say that you are, again, looking through conspiracies, and you just get swamped by this reality that, like, oh my God, this world and the evil in it is much bigger than me. Well, this is exactly why I say you need to get off that social media shit, and you need to start maybe spending a little bit of time in your day reading truths that have been written far before you and I were here. And in Isaiah chapter 8, it says, "Take counsel together, but it will come to nothing. Speak a word, but it will not stand, for God is with us. For the Lord spoke thus to me with this strong hand upon me, and warned me not to walk in the way of this people, saying, do not call conspiracy." This is in the Bible, I kid you not. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 12, if you're looking for it. "Do not call conspiracy all that this people calls conspiracy, and do not fear what they fear, nor be in dread. But the Lord of hosts, him you shall honor as holy. Let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. And he will become a sanctuary and a stone of offense and a rock of stumbling to both houses of Israel, a trap and a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem." Now this is getting kind of deep, because this is God actually prophesying against Israel. We'll get into that later. What game am I going to be playing today? We are doing a level up chill cam stream today, Dino Bros. So we are probably going to reserve the games for either way later in the stream, or we might do a whole nother stream later tonight. But for right now, we're just going to be talking, chilling, brother. I appreciate you joining, man. Appreciate you joining. Mutens, Dino Bros. Appreciate you guys joining. Welcome, brothers. Welcome. We're doing a level up chill cam stream today. We're just hanging out, vibing, talking about real stuff. Right now, I'm discussing how the Bible actually talks about conspiracy theories and how we shouldn't be afraid of them. Out of curiosity, Dino Bros, if you could type in the chat, I'd love to know what game you're interested in watching me play through. We are going to be putting out a lot more playthroughs on the channel, so feel free to drop a like on those, come through on those. Let me know in the comments what games you guys want to see played. We're going to definitely, and like I said, we're not changing gaming from this channel. We're still gaming for sure. but a way for me to kind of mitigate the necessity to stream every day. I realized that I realize how little I've actually done streams like this where we can just talk, and how positive this actually probably is for our community, that we can just sit and talk. There's not a lot of spaces left like this, so we want to cherish those. Chill Cam Podcast. We'll just call it the Chill Cam Podcast for right now. It's developing. Our special guests are Saitama and Jeff Goldblum out of costume right now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But isn't that so interesting, y'all? Like, think about that. Did you really, you could be honest with me, did you ever think that the Bible had a verse about conspiracies? Call of Duty, that's pretty interesting. I'll tell you what, gamers, I used to love Call of Duty. I talk about Call of Duty like it's an ex-girlfriend. I used to really love Call of Duty. I love Call of Duty probably the most around Black Ops first one, Black Ops 2, and started losing my love definitely on Black Ops 3. Anytime you take an industry and you let motherfuckers in suits that aren't actual gamers control the money in the industry, what happens is you get shit games like Call of Duty being put out every fucking year. And I gotta be honest with y'all, I love y'all, and I love Call of Duty when it was Call of Duty. Now, you wanna know what Call of Duty is now? Call of Duty is a walking pile of dog shit. That's what it is. And everyone who plays it is just hoping for it to be better and knows that it never will be. Like, nothing will ever beat Modern Warfare 2 original, bro. They released that, re-released it knowing that they couldn't beat what they've done before. Because what they want to do is make an IP that they can keep releasing to you with least effort as possible. I mean, that's just the game. I'm not trying to like be like a whistleblower on the gaming industry, but it's true. I mean, you just look up all the facts there. The AAA gaming industry has been in shambles for a couple years now. Thank God for Insomniac. They're actually making actual good games. But man, the last Call of Duty pissed me off so much, dude. I was watching Doc's stream where he was trying to hop on there the first time. Oh my lord, bro. I think I almost just knocked out one of my... There we go, that was interesting. Little known fact about me, I've had my nose pierced probably 12 times. The first 10 times I had to, it would fall out and the hole would close by the next morning, so I'd have to go get it re-pierced. I used to have like a septum and like, I still have like the gauges. I used to be a very very edgy, misunderstood teenager back in the day, you know? But it was a phase, but not really at the same time. My favorite Nirvana song is not Smells Like Teen Spirit. It is Tutorial Pissings, which that's how you know that I'm a real Nirvana fan. Tutorial Pissings is probably one of the greatest Nirvana songs of all time. That's not true. I'm sorry. That was a heavy statement. I probably just pissed off at least 40 Nirvana fans. But everyone's technically a Nirvana fan now because they're so mainstream. Oh. It's a good day, man. It's a great day. And I'm gonna tell you why, man. Like, I could have woken up today and been so negative. I could have remained negative. I could have chosen to let my morning outburst, for those who are just joining the stream, first of all, welcome. Fucking love you, dog. Hope you're doing all right. If you're not, that's all right. We got love for you here. You feel me? A lot of y'all be walking through life with nobody, bro. And I'm dead ass here to be here for y'all. Yo, dead ass? That's cool as fuck. Yo, first of all, your grandpa's a cool ass dude. Second of all, I'm just curious, which Well, maybe I shouldn't ask. Maybe that's really personal. But no, that's cool, man. W grandpa. Yo, y'all seen the grandpa that's like the veteran grandpa he like plays Battlefront? That dude's fucking awesome, dude. He's like a sniper and shit. That guy is awesome, dude. And like, as someone who appreciates good sniping, I watch his clips and I'm like, hey, yo, grandpa don't got PTSD. He got nostalgia, my boy. That's tight though, bro. Bro, I remember, yo, you know what's crazy, chat? Is I remember when Call of Duty used to have good storylines, bro. I missed that, man. Black Ops 1, man. Modern Warfare. All those storylines were gas, bro. Fucking gas. But I appreciate you guys being here today, man. Let's keep that conversation going. A lot of people, bro, they completely underestimate the truth that they could find in the Bible and in God. Like, I'm somebody who, I cherish the moments where I find God outside of the Bible and outside of the boxes that Christians created to put him in. But that's not to say that I can't go return to it and find him there. Because for me, what I found a lot of times is that earlier in my life, I heavily rejected God. Like, I grew up in the church, but not as a Christian, if that makes sense. Like, I grew up around it being like, what the fuck is this? Like, I would be so disenchanted, and still to this day am very disenchanted by the entertainment that they put on in church. Oh, now we have our worship songs for 45 minutes. All right, 45 minutes is up. All right, now we got our preachers coming up. Oh, he's going to be up for exactly 30 minutes. And all right, and I'll get everybody out the door. Oh, make sure you get your tithes before we do that. Like, a lot of it, I was like I had no interest. I'm being honest. And I would even read the Bible and be like, what is this garbage? Like, I'll be honest. When I was younger, I would read the Bible, and to me, God sounded like a bitch ass nigga. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. But he sounded like a bitch ass nigga to me from the way people were representing him. It sounded like he wanted people to worship him. They wanted to worship cool as shit. So he sent his son to die, and they still don't want to do that. So I'm like, bro, just give him up, bro. They don't like you. But then I started really reading it. You feel me? The mission was Desert Storm. Hell yeah, yo, your grandpa's a badass, bro. Yo, let me tell you this right now, to everybody in the chat. In a world where young men die, don't underestimate them old folks, bro. Your grandpa could probably end all of our lives without making a sound, bro. I guarantee you. Yo, shouts out to Dino Bros, grandpa. Appreciate your service. You a real ass dude. We love you here on this channel. And that also shouts out to anybody else who has somebody in the service or has been in the service. We appreciate y'all. We salute you for real. Not the way that America salutes you, because a lot of times they salute you with homelessness when you come back. But we really do salute you for real. A lot of y'all putting your lives on the line. A lot of y'all put your lives on the line. And there's a lot of people who didn't make a home that we living off their freedom. You feel me? So I thank God for that. Think about that, y'all. A lot of times, you know, I don't know if you haven't seen already, feel free to go back and check out my Sup Gamer gratitude video. But in that video, I discussed the importance of gratitude and how we relate it to the things around us. Hell yeah, dude. I pray for many more healthy, long years of life for your grandpa, bro. I pray that God blesses him for real. For real. For all the evil that he saw and experienced, I pray that he experiences just as much joy in his life. But think about that, y'all. We could have been alive in the time. I don't know if y'all ever seen, there's a lot of YouTube shorts right now popping up on my feed where they'll show World War II back in the day and where it is now, like on the streets of Germany and all these places. And it's phenomenal. I mean, I love it, man. I love looking into that history, but to look at it even deeper here, to say that we're not in a war right now. I mean, okay, we on our soil are not in a war. And we got to be thankful for that, for real. I thank God every day for that, bro. Every day. I wake up and I say, Lord, thank you for the safety you've permitted me to walk in. Thank you for the peace that I've obtained in this life. Because I know, dead ass, y'all, that there is places where motherfuckers is waking up and they don't know where their family's at. And they don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they don't know when the next bomb finna drop. And that's terrifying, bro. I don't wish that on nobody's children. I don't wish that on nobody's family. Everybody should have the common grace of peace and safety. But unfortunately, in this world, that's not always the case. Not everybody is always safe, you know what I'm saying? So we got to be grateful for that. That's why, bro, I get so pissed when I hear people say they're bored. What the fuck you mean you bored, bro? You bored? Oh, you bored of all the safety and peace that you've been reveling in? Why don't you go switch places with the motherfuckers halfway across the world getting bombed out of their homes right now? Would you be less bored then? Like, don't let America's, like, greed get on you, bro. We need to learn how to be a less selfless and more humble and grateful people, bro. Straight up. Because, like, we done built this country on a whole lot of evil shit. You know what I mean? So we might as well let the light shine through at some point and start being a little bit more grateful for what we have. You know what I mean? And I'm not even trying to be a dick. I'm just really saying, like, we spend so much time, bro, on shit that don't matter, bro. And then when the shit that matters gets taken away, we go, oh. Like, did we take the time to appreciate it while it was there, bro? Motherfucker, man. Like there's people right now online is talking about the TikTok ban. Let's talk about it. Let's bring this up. Let's bring this into circulation. So they're banning TikTok, right? And motherfuckers want to get on TikTok right now talking about they're taking away our freedoms. They're taking away our free speech. No, they're not. They're taking away an app that was made for you where you could do that. And all this fucking time, this whole fucking time, y'all have known how much they want to suppress the truth. But once they took TikTok away, now that's when you want to start talking about it? Nah, see, fuck off. This is what I'm saying, bro. This is why y'all got to start question everything you see. Question me. And go read for yourself. Go do the research. When people start complaining, when people have their next uprising, all their little revolutions they want you to join, do your own research and ask yourself, is this just another trend? Right? Like, people make like civil pursuits it's just a trend now. It's trendy to be a revolutionary now, and it's so stupid to me. Because nobody's revolutionizing shit. They're not. And they won't. Like, until we realize that there is a fabric between us on the screen, right? That somebody with ill intentions can hop on here and just start talking shit. Look at me. I'm just a random guy. I'm just talking shit. But if you're a person with good intentions, and you can like read people's energies, you'd probably read me pretty well and be like, nah, this dude's cool. This dude's cool. And there's a reason for that. Because there's a spiritual nature behind everything that we do, whether we believe in it or not. Like I was saying earlier, even if you don't believe in spirituality, bro, your first memory is not when you were born. Therefore, resulting in the conclusive evidence that you are not your body. You are a implanted consciousness. And the more that we consume things through the lens of things like TikTok and Instagram, the more we're affecting which consciousness is actually imported. Someone can talk to you through a screen and import their thoughts to you without you even knowing it, because they've convincingly told you how to believe. So they're banning TikTok, right? And this is the point of what I'm saying. You can hop on there right now, and motherfuckers are trying to convince you that the world is evil, that they're taking away our freedoms. Nah, bro. This is a small point in time. And God is so much more sovereign over all this shit, bro. It says in the Bible that God turns the hearts of kings where he may. The hearts of kings, meaning translated the word kings to leader, influencer, governor, president. God is sovereign over all things. If you believe that there's a creator, if you don't, that's fine. You can just hop in this and just observe as an observer. But as someone like me who believes in God and believes in Jesus, This is what I'm so tired of. All these fucking Christians that been believing in this bitch ass nigga. It's not God. How you or anybody else can thwart the plan of the person who created this whole shit? That's why I'm so sick and tired of the entertainment shit. I'm so sick and tired of the Christian entertainment shit, because it's like, bro, you could tell me that you believe in a sovereign God, an all-powerful God, and TikTok getting banned is what's gonna worry you? That like a corrupt government is what worries you? Nigga, government, I'm a whistle blow with this one. Here's a fact that a lot of people probably won't tell you because they haven't read a single history book in their life. Every government since the beginning of time has been corrupt. Everyone. Not a single one has not been corrupt. All right, now we've caught up. So now that we're caught up on that, if you're someone who focuses on conspiracies, take a moment, stop yourself, and consider that just as much evil as there is, that there is a sovereign God, King of the universe, that controls all things. And although there's things that he oversees that we don't understand, and we can't comprehend why he would allow certain things to happen, we have a book called the Bible that is a generation after generation proof of God being faithful and making a way where there is no way. So I guess I'm not trying to be anti-conspiracy. I don't want you to get that. I'm anti-fear. And I'm anti-fear mongering. And what a lot of you guys don't know is a lot of these fucking influencers that hop on here talking about this conspiracy and that and how we need to prepare for this, they're getting paid to do that. Do you think that if the world was really ending that they'd be hopping on a fucking microphone in a studio telling you how it's going to end? No, they'd be in a fucking bunker with their families. So try not to listen so much, guys, to fear. Please try to remove fear from the vernacular. Please try to remove pride from the vernacular. And I'm speaking to myself, really. A lot of this is stuff that I experience when I go out in the world and I watch, and I consume TikTok or YouTube Shorts, or I just consume any media. We're in a very dangerous time in our human existence where we have all of the information, but not the discernment and the wisdom to sort through it. So we got to exercise our wisdom, gamers. Like I was talking about earlier in the stream, go to Proverbs, go to Psalms. Even if you're watching this as someone who's like, yeah, I believe, but I don't really believe in God that way. I kind of been on the fence. Read Psalms. Read Psalm 91. I'll read it to you right now. I ain't even going to wait for y'all. Some of y'all are like, I don't even have a Bible, bro. Download the app, bro. And I'm not saying it's the end all be all fix all to everything, but it has a lot of truth that can wash over your heart in times when you're not okay. Bro, I'm speaking directly right now to any man watching this. You just like me, bro. Because guess what? If you like me, both of us have had our hearts broken. Both of us have had our soul crushed by something. And you're going to sit here and tell me that in the moments when your soul has been crushed, when you felt unseen, unheard, invisible to the world, that you wouldn't like to hear comfort in the forms of the word of God? That you wouldn't at least be open to it? That's what I'm saying. I'm not even here to convert nobody. I'm not even here to preach, really. I'm just talking about what I believe in, my thoughts, and how they help me frame the world, and how it might help you also frame this crazy world. Bro, let's say you're somebody who experienced a lot of abuse, a lot of violence. Maybe no abuse and no violence. Maybe you just depressed, bro. Maybe you feel like nobody sees you. Maybe you feel like nobody gives a single fuck about you. Maybe you feel like the world would be better off without you. I'm here to tell you, nah, bro. Nah, enough with that shit. Enough with that shit. The world is not better off without you. The world is better off with people like you that are willing to be broken. Because sometimes we got to break a little bit so that we can actually break through. Now listen to this. If you're not someone who believes in God or reads the Bible, I take no offense to you, bro. This is what I believe that helps me when I'm down in the dumps. Because I'm telling you right now that I've had anxiety attacks and I've had depressive episodes that almost took me out, bro. I would not be here today if I didn't have these words. So I'm reading it to you because they comforted me. I'm not reading them to you to convert you. I'm not reading them to you to try to convince you that Jesus is real. I'm reading them to you to show you the words that help me when I'm in these states. Psalm 91, this is an amazing chapter. It's very short and you can read it in probably about 10 minutes. I'll just read the first couple verses. Psalm 91, the title goes, My Refuge and My Fortress. And it says, He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust, for he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler, from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with his pinions, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and a buckler. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only look with your eyes and see the recompense or the repaying of the wicked. Because you have made the Lord your dwelling place, the Most High, who is my refuge, no evil shall be allowed to befall you, no plague come near your tent. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. On their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the adder, the young lion and the serpent you'll trample underneath your feet. Because he holds fast to me in love, this is God speaking, I will deliver him. I will protect him because he knows my name. When he calls to me, I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. You tell me you heard those words and you didn't hear an iota of like, I know you could feel it, bro. Because when I read those out loud, I feel it, bro. When I'm in a depressive episode, it's almost like I could feel God put his hand on my shoulder and be like, bro, I know you can't see me, but feel me and know that I'm here. If you follow DNA, the coding of DNA, let's break this down. Let's break this down. Hell yeah, bro. Yo, appreciate you for joining the stream. I know I used to do the whole drop a like, if you know what I mean. I don't even need y'all to drop likes, follow, or nothing. I don't need y'all to do none of that, for real. This channel is for God. You know what I'm saying? This channel was given to me by God. You feel me? And I'm not gonna waste any more time. If I died tomorrow, this would be my most important live stream. I don't want to waste any more time because I know another thing, bro. I know it's a lot of young cats on YouTube. I know it's a lot of young cats out here on Twitter or whatever. Wherever you're watching this right now, it's a lot of you young folks. And a lot of you young folks have been told by an older generation what you're supposed to think, how you're supposed to feel, and how they feel about you feeling what you feel. But I'm here to say fuck all that, bro. Straight up. Because in our DNA, okay, I can't even pronounce it, the deoxyribonucleic acid, or the coding, the scientific, physical, biological coding of our DNA is as follows. 10, 5, 6, 5. In Hebrew, 10, in Hebrew, all of the numbers equate to a letter. All right? So the coding of our DNA, and you can look this up, is 10, 5, 6, 5. It's in everybody's DNA across all living beings. And if you take the numbers 10, 5, 6, 5, and put those, what they translate to in the Hebrew alphabet, it spells YHWH, Yahweh. The Hebrew name for God. So you tell me who made us. Because ain't no number spelling out this or that. It's spelling out very clearly who made me, bro. It's spelling out very clearly And I don't need much more than that. You feel me? So for me, that's why it's things like that that just make me go, blessed are you, Lord our God, right? Because he don't need us to believe in him for him to be real. I'm sure he been laughing in heaven with all the angels when people coming out with all these scientific discoveries that just prove his existence, my dog. Nigga. It says in the Bible, don't get me fired. I'm going to get fired up. It says in the Bible that God spoke the worlds into being, excuse me. When you speak, what happens? Is there a vibration? That's something vibrating to actually make me do that. We talk so much that we forget that there's a whole system happening. Do you think about all the countless things that go into your body that have to make sure that you can even vocalize? All the countless synapses that have to work in your brain to make sure that you can pay attention to this processing coming here, for have it reach here? Did we come up with that? Did you? Oh no, it must have been the Big Bang. I don't know. And see, I'm not against science. The Big Bang was probably when God spoke. And he said, let there be light. And that's the thing, is I find so much more value in what I call the truths of God than the wisdom of this world. The wisdom of this world will tell you, get the bag. Get the bag, bro. Yeah, okay. All right, get the bag. Go ahead. Get every single bag you ever needed and tell me how you doing at the end of that journey. We all been saying, let's get this bread since 2016? How y'all doing? Y'all satisfied off that bread yet? Or are you still chasing it? Because see, Jesus tells me that there's a bread of life that when I eat from it, I'll never hunger, bro. You want to wonder why I'm not the same as all these other influencers out here? And even all these other so-called Christian influencers? Yeah, I'm talking to y'all. You motherfuckers been had it twisted for a long time about who Jesus is. Y'all motherfuckers have had it twisted for a long time about who God is. But when he reveals himself, sovereign king of the universe, for who he truly is, you'll see it. And you'll hear it too. He says in the Bible, my sheep know my voice. God can speak through anybody. In the Bible, he spoke through an ass, a donkey. So he can speak through this ass too. And if you on across the street right now, you feeling that pit in your stomach is growing. That's God, bro. Because back in the day, they didn't have a word for God. They wouldn't even speak the word, the name God, which was, by the way, YHWH. You can look it up. That's the ancient name for God, Yahweh, which is coded in our DNA to this day. These are the things that bring me peace. And the reason why I'm so, y'all be like, damn, Moon, what happened to Moon Kid? Why is he so fired up? I'm gonna tell you exactly why I'm fired up. Because I know that there's a reality to the urgency of mental health, bro. Every hour, 85 men kill themselves. You think that's funny? You think that's something we could just ignore? You think that's someone we could just keep breezing by? I tell you this right now, there's a whole evil inside of all of us, because we'll hear shit like that, and we'll hear this shit like kids being abused, and you know what we do? Keep scrolling. We just keep scrolling. We just keep looking for our purpose, waiting for our moment of our 15 minutes of fame. I want to go viral, bro. I just can't wait till I go viral, bro. That'll be dope, right? Yeah, it'll be great when you go viral and you have an entire world of people that are not seeking to understand you judge you. And you have an entire world of people ready to take from you what they can benefit. So y'all gotta be careful, bro. Y'all gotta be careful out here, man. Y'all be letting them sell you dreams. Y'all be letting them dangle carrots in front. Ain't no carrot you dangle in front of me, bro. That's why I stopped, bro. I'm gonna tell you this so honestly, y'all. This is why I stopped streaming for a week. Because I felt like the devil was dangling that carrot from me. Oh, you got to get watch hours. You got to get, nah, bro. I got to have faith in God. I got to have faith in a God that's bigger than this whole shit. Because if I don't, I'm going to put my faith in myself And I'll tell you, 25 years experience, that didn't get me nowhere. I'm going to put my faith in other people. And I'm going to tell you, 25 years experience, that got me nowhere, my nigga. I put my faith in things like good things, like love, money, trust, and faith, right? But I didn't put my faith and trust in God. And if you've all fucked up right now, I bet there's somebody watching this, you fucked up right now. Don't think I don't know you, bro. I could smoke you under the table, bro. Don't talk to me. If you want to come at me saying that I'm a Jesus freak, whatever, say whatever the fuck you want, because I'm telling you right now, I could smoke you under the table. Maybe you're watching this, you're like, well, how could God love me? I'm a stoner, I'm smoking weed. I'll read you a verse right now. I got you. Because you know what? The pastors ain't gonna do it. They could have condemned you and tell you, well, you need it's a sin issue in your life and you really need to get that. And you know what? Maybe it is. But people got to start figuring out on their own time and stop letting these other people talk about what you can and can't do. I want to make sure I find it. I don't want to just speak it like I know it. What up, Kaze? Hope you're doing all right, bro. We chilling today, man. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing all right. And if you're not, that's all right, bro. Just so you're not like caught off on like whatever we doing, Jameson, we'll get that music back up in a sec. I was just talking about how a lot of times, like if you've been around other Christians and other things like that, like they'll be judging you. And I was saying that although I believe in God, sometimes I still smoke weed, all that stuff, and that you can't really judge me for being a Christian because I'm just as imperfect as you are, you feel me? My day's going pretty good, man. I'm very thankful to be alive today, bro, you feel me? Like I said earlier in the live stream, like it's a lot of places in the world where people don't have safety, you know what I'm saying? They don't have the common grace of peace. Like there's places where people woke up, bro, like, and they don't know if the next bomb is gonna drop on them, you know what I'm saying? And like, I'm doing good because, oh, hell fucking yeah, dude. Yo, my bad for swearing, bro. I'm not trying to influence you in any way. I want y'all to know right now, I believe in God and Jesus, but I'm not perfect, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still smoke weed. I still struggle with watching porn. I still struggle with swearing, you know what I'm saying? But that's the whole point, bro. There's not been a single, there is not a single person I can think of, bro, that starts doing ministry for God and still remains real. Like they're just as bad as famous people because they become Christians and they're like, oh, well, I'm perfect now. Like, shut up, bro. You're not. Nobody's perfect. And that's why Jesus existed. He's not waiting for us to be holy. He came and died because we can't be holy without him, bro. Look at how much worse along we are without God as a nation. Just contemplate that for a quick second, y'all. As a nation, thank you, bro. Thank you. That's all I want to do for y'all. I just want to create a positive environment, and I also want to put a hedge of intellectual protection around a lot of y'all because I know a lot of y'all be getting questions and a lot of people be hating on y'all, and it's like, listen, there's a freedom that's obtained in Jesus that you probably won't find in a church because they want it to be entertaining and they want it to be this and that, yada, yada. But nah, bro. Like I was saying before, maybe you're watching this and you're like smoking weed. You're like, there's no way God would love me, bro. Like I'm a stoner. Like, pause. Let's try this for a second. Romans 11:36. Let's read it together. If you really want to say that there's no way that God could love you, what I like to do is I don't like to run away from truths. It says in Romans 11:36, for from him, talking about God, for from him, so from him, and to him, meaning returning back to him, and through him are all things. That's Romans 11:36. Let's hit another one. There is not one thing that was made that was not made through him. Let's see. John 1:1-5. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him. And without him, thank you, bro. These are the Kurt Cobain glasses. You can get them at Newberry Comics. And without him, nothing was made that was made. In him was life, and in him was the life that was the light of men. That's John 1 through 5. Guys, if all things were made by God, that means that God has the capacity to redeem everything through him and back to him. Even your weed addiction, even your porn addiction, anything can be redeemed back to him. Meaning, at every moment, God is willing to redeem you. Not once you turn around and do it. It also says in the Bible that Christ loves us in this way, that while we still sin, he died for us so that we may have eternal life. Maybe that means nothing to you. Maybe you're like, well, bro, those are just a bunch of like words put together. Like, I didn't ask Christ to die for me. You didn't, right? But he did. And even if you don't believe if he was real, he historically was crucified, and we're still talking about him today, 2,000 years later. Is there anybody else that we can argue about that much? Probably not. But you start talking about Jesus, a whole lot of people could have some problems. And that's why I like talking about him. I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, chat. And I could be, I'm just a man. I feel like I might be the only content creator that can talk about God this way. I think a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are frightened by the idea of God. A lot of people are frightened by approaching belief in God because it's been so demoralized by Christianity and religion. But in Isaiah it says, behold, I am doing a new thing. Let's bring that up. Let me not just quote it. Let's really go to it. What are we doing here? Damn, they're trying to take out my light. Let there be light, my bro. There we go. Behold, I'm doing a new thing. This is Isaiah 43. Let's go read that. Let's read it together, gamers. Let's see. Because I really want to nail in the coffin here the fact that God has never and will never fit in a box that you put him in. There's literally a story where Peter was being commanded to go eat with a bunch of non-believing Gentiles. And he's like... Peter looks at God and he's like, I appreciate you asking me to do that, big bro, but I ain't gonna defile myself with sinners. And God looks back at Peter and he's like, this is the Moon Kid translation. He's like, nigga, don't make unholy what I have made holy. God can make things holy that weren't holy before? Yes, he can. Isaiah 43. Oh, this is awesome. I'm sorry. I'm just reading it out to myself first. Isaiah 43. And if you have the time, go read Isaiah 43 in its entirety, because it actually is a phenomenal chapter. But it says, starting in verse 19 of Isaiah 43, behold, I am doing a new thing. Now, right now, it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. That's phenomenal, y'all. And for those who just missed that, you got to go read Isaiah 43, y'all. This has some shit there. It has some powerful shit. But in verse 19, it says, behold, this is God talking. I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not see it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. God is constantly in the habit of making a way where there is no way. So to Dino Bros, I will. By the grace of God, yes, I will hit 100K subs. And by the grace of God, I will do anything that he gives me the power to do. You heard? Because at the end of the day, Jesus told me, faith the size of a mustard seed will move a mountain. Well, I got faith the size of a mountain, my nigga. So that's enough to move the earth below. You feel me? And I don't even care. I could sit at 1,000 subs and I'd be fine. Let God's will be done, not mine. I ain't nothing, bro. Y'all might follow me, like what I have to say. You might like the vibe that I give off, but understand this. That's from God. I read the Bible, you know what I'm saying, and I see the truths that's far greater than the wisdom I come up with. I'll tell the truth right now, bro. Years ago, I was sleeping around with so many different women, bro. For real. I was in the dark, bro, but God pulled me out of that. And he has a habit of doing that. Making a way where there is no way. And putting his wisdom where we feel our wisdom. And yo, right now, happy. Yo, no. We got to get the applause for this one. Jameson. We got a birthday in the chat. Jameson. Hold on. Sherlyn, what's her name? Sherlyn. Okay, y'all, we want to go ahead and give a big round of applause for our friend Sherlyn. Sherlyn, happy birthday, motherfucker. Happy birthday. Hell yeah. Happy birthday, man. Truly. Shouts out to Sherlyn. We pray blessings over this next year. We pray that 19 is even better than 18. We pray that God's truth and mercy and grace and love pours out onto them. I just lift up Sherlyn right now. In the name of Jesus, I pray for a blessing over them. I pray against depression. I pray against anxiety. I pray that they feel freedom, man. Hell yeah, man. Happy birthday. May today be a day that is blessed. We celebrate you. We celebrate your life. We celebrate the miracle that you are. God and all the angels celebrating too, man. We're thankful that you're here. Praise be to God for our friend Sherlyn. May they be blessed in all that they do. May they be blessed in all they set their hands to. In Jesus' name. I appreciate y'all, man. But listen, in Isaiah 43, it talks about God doing a new thing. And this is very important for this year, y'all. Because I'm going to tell you this right now, okay? It's a lot of things in the world that are going to make us feel crazy. It's a lot of things in the world that aren't going to make sense. And this year, it's going to be a hard year, all right? Because we're going to have to make sense of a lot of the world. And the only way that we can the only way that I make sense of the world in my lens is through Jesus. You feel me? Because, and this is because, man, I don't want to hear it from y'all skeptics because I get it, man. But at the same time, you know what? I do want to hear from y'all skeptics. But I relate to y'all. That's why I don't want to hear from y'all, because I was one, bro. I was so worried, man. I was so scared all the time. But man, like, and I'm somebody who I always built myself up to be strong. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to be strong in front of my peers. I always wanted to be strong in front of everybody, but bro, that's not the point. The point isn't to be strong, man. The point is to be strong in God and strong in your faith, because as you get weak, if your faith is strong, you can do anything, bro. The whole point of the Old Testament, I'm gonna tell you this right now, in case anybody who gets confused about God and the Old Testament God seems kind of crazy, bro. This is from someone who's really read it. All that the Old Testament is a secular or a cyclical story of God coming through for his people where there was no way. Of God making a way where there was no way. That's all it is. And then the second half is God warning Israel about not accepting his son. We won't talk too much about that. But all I'm saying is, God is constantly in the business of redeeming his people. God ain't forget, bro. Old Testament is filled with story after story after story of him coming through for his people. He took the Israelites out of Egypt when they was in slavery and into the desert. Not even 2 weeks later, my boy, Moses put his staff down and spread the fucking sea open for them to walk across. 2 weeks later, they were sitting in the desert talking about, you brought us out here to kill us, God. You ain't give no food, no nothing. It's stupid. We should have stayed with the Egyptians. It's in the Bible. I'm not even kidding, bro. Obviously, it's the Moon Kid translation. But 2 weeks later, they were questioning God. And then what did God do? It says that he brought manna down from the skies to feed them. But then, 2 weeks later, that manna wasn't good enough. Man, God ain't really giving us all that. So then, God set down snakes. And he's like, nah, fuck y'all. I'm going to have y'all bitten now because y'all aren't even grateful. But then after a bunch of people started dying, God was like, all right, I'm going to save y'all. And I'm going to have Moses put this snake that he cast out of bronze onto a stick. He's going to put it up. And everybody who's dying, as long as they look up and believe, they're going to be healed. Now, if you look at any medical facility, you're going to see that symbol to this day. That's why that's there. The snake around that's why. It's from the Bible. All these motherfuckers be stealing shit. Anyways, this was a symbol of Jesus. This was a prophetic symbol of Jesus. The bronze snake on the stick. That out of all the things that were falling and killing them, as long as they believed in it, as ridiculous as it sounded. And even Joshua, when he walked in on Moses making it, he was like, bro, why are you doing this? People are dying out there and you making a fucking snake. And he said, God told me to do it, bro. So sometimes God calls us to a faith that feels ridiculous to our peers. It feels ridiculous to everyone around us. But when we actually are obedient to it, boy, the freedom and the healing that comes from that. Let me tell you, bro. That's why y'all can't tell me nothing no more. I know the freedom that I experience in God. I can't get that from man. The approval of man means nothing to me now. Fellowship means everything to me now, and namely what I mean by that is a space like this live stream where we can gather, we can discuss the things of the mind, we can share our hearts, we can even question things. Guys, there's a whole book of the Bible that questions God. It's called Lamentations. All right, y'all won't believe me. Here we go. Oh, and you know what? There's a verse that I was going to look up before. I want to make sure I don't forget. If you're anything like me and you're someone that gets really overwhelmed by the world, Jesus said this, John 16, starting in verse 34. Do you now believe? Behold, the hour is coming. Indeed, it has come, when you will be scattered, each to his own home, and will leave me alone. Yet I am not alone, for the Father is with me. This is Jesus prophesying about the world forsaking him and faith in him. So, by the way, he already knew that we were going to do that. But it says, I have said these things to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you may have tribulation. Get this, watch this. Jesus says this, in the world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. Man, praise God, man. That's why I love the Bible, man. Hey, Ty V, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you hanging, man. Go get a W, man. Go get a W, bro. Go get that chicken dinner. You gotta be able to use that new setup, bro. Maybe I'll once I'm done with this stream, maybe I'll hop on and play a couple of rounds with you. It's been a minute since I played 4, actually. But that's the thing, man. You ever realize how much Christians hate on video games? You ever realize that? There's like a weird connection with that. Like Christian parents and, that's the devil. Anything that brings you joy, that's the devil. Nah, devil could come up with something that cool, bro. I'm sorry. Don't you go give the devil credit for cool shit. He can't create nothing. He can only manipulate what's already there. And video games to me are such a blessing, bro. They're such a blessing, man. I love being able to just get into a fabricated world that is beautiful. That's actually like really cool. Something that someone has created, an experience that someone has curated. That's beautiful. Now, if y'all don't believe me about what I said earlier about there being a whole book of the Bible that questions God, There is literally a verse, or excuse me, a book called Lamentations. Dude, it's just this guy lamenting, meaning like he's just sad, bro. He's sad that God hasn't come through for him. And he's just explaining that. Not a lot of people even quote Lamentations, like they just don't even read it because they're like, oh, that's the old stuff. This verse says the Lord has destroyed without pity. Bro, come on, dude. The Bible is even conscious about the fact that following God is a wrestling act. It's an act of faith. But it doesn't mean that when you're in that faith that you can't like question and you can't like be imperfect. Nigga, that's why Jesus exists. Not so that you can just be imperfect, because that's what you would call presumption. It's so that you can always see, despite your imperfection, that there's a way out where normally there'd be no way. That there's a way in the wilderness, like we were talking about. We've all been in the wilderness at some point. All of us. Whether it be in our mind or somewhere else. All right? And if you're watching this right now, you that somebody, you've been in the wilderness, I pray for you, bro. And I ain't even praying on no evangelist, oh God, come save him right now. I just pray for relief, man. That as you watch this, that you would feel that relief that you have not gotten in so long, bro. So many of us, me included, bro, are scrolling through TikTok, just scrolling our whole lives away, bro. Scrolling our whole lives away with no consideration of the value that our lives have. And I'm just here to stop you and say, I love you, God loves you, and you're gonna be all right. You're gonna make it through. Whatever's keeping you down, there's a way. There's a way. And a lot of times it's through the mind. A lot of times we feel like we're imprisoned, but we got the key right here. I love you guys, man. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. 100 XP to Ty V. Appreciate you being here, bro. 100 XP to my friend here. I want to say Kaize. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. But you guys are awesome. To each and every person, even if you're watching this afterwards, I just bless you. I bless you, man. And you're like, I didn't sneeze. It's fine. I bless you, man, in the name of Jesus, and for the fact that you were just willing to listen to a crazy man ramble for like a couple hours. That's a blessing to God, but it's also obviously a blessing to me because, I could be talking to an empty room right now. And even if I was, I believe that God would give me the grace to be able to still do it. But to those who are actively supporting this, truly, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Because when I started this, sorry, I'm just reading the text here, y'all. Have I tried out Warzone? I used to play a lot of Warzone in 2020. But listen, man, God is so good, man. God deserves all the glory for this channel because when I started this, I was hopeless. I was suicidal. And it was God who gave me the grace to be where I am today. I went on a walk. I said, Lord, I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know where I'm supposed to go, but if I need you to get me and be behind me in this, because doing this YouTube thing is, I feel like, the only thing I got left. And I feel like he said, all right, bet. And here we are. 1,000 subscribers and millions of views later. Psych, motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just grateful, man. Grateful. Beyond grateful, really, because at the end of the day, bro, we could all just keep doing the same stuff, bro. We could all just keep doing the same thing, going to the same places for hope, and just let it not fulfill us continuously. Man, I pray for anybody watching this that has been bombarded by depression. That even right now, they're like, man, I put you on as background noise. I ain't even really trying to have you talk to me like that. But listen, I'm talking to you. I pray for you. I pray the Spirit of God lifts you out of that depression. I pray that you feel relief from the things that trouble you. And I pray that today could be a day that you can have joy. For real. Y'all a lot cooler than you give yourselves credit for, too. I'll tell you that. This is awesome. Man, also, shouts out to the Lo-Fi Christian on YouTube. That's actually what we're listening to right now. This is a phenomenal playlist. I've been getting into also like recently like a lot of oh, hold on one second, gamers. I've been getting into just like listening more to just more positive music, you know what I mean? Like I was a huge hip hop head for a while. I love hip hop and I always will. There's a lot of really good like constructive hip hop artists. Coda the Friend is probably one of my top. Toby Nwigwe. These are people who are actually putting out a good message. But I've realized for a long time, y'all, that I would just let myself consume stuff that just was not good for me. And then I would sit and wonder why I'm so depressed. Like I'd be like spending like 8 hours a day like looking at fried memes and like, you know, just doing all kinds of things, man. Like I had a really bad porn addiction for a while. You know, and some people don't even look at it as a problem, like porn. They're like, oh, whatever, bro, and that's fine. Like, I'm not here to condemn you for what you do. I'm here to explain and be honest about where I'm at in life. And for me, porn destroyed my mind to the point where I couldn't have relationships with the people in my life, bro. Like, I was so consumed by the stimulus of pornography and the stimulus of just like orgasming that I was like, well, I don't really want to live life if I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Like I just was like, the excitement of masturbation for me took over the excitement of like of just regular life, of what I believe like the life that God had for me. And I'm not saying like, oh, I started believing in God, stopped masturbating, stopped smoking weed, and I was perfect. Like, no, I still actually struggle with all of these things actively. But the more that we talk about them, the more that we, you know, get out in front of our issues, we can actually learn to take away the power that they have over us. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people will clown you. And that's okay, gamers. Like, realize this. You could be literally the guy that cured cancer and ended world hunger, and people would still clown you for something. Like, they would have a reason for it. Like, well, why didn't you cure AIDS? You're homophobic. You know what I mean? Like, like, or they'd be like, why didn't you cure racism? What's wrong with you? Like, the people would just find something always to complain about. It's just kind of the nature of our world, bro. It's very sad. Like, there's nothing you can do that will be good enough for them. And this actually brings to mind a passage. And let me actually go to it here. Okay, so it's Matthew 16. We're gonna dive into Matthew 16 today. Let's check it out. All right, we are in Matthew 16. And this is, okay, for those who don't understand this, Pharisees and Sadducees were the religious leaders of Jesus' time. So basically like today's pastors and priests. Just think of it like that. And it says that the Pharisees and Sadducees demanded signs. And they came to Jesus to test him and asked him to show him a sign from heaven. And he answered it. When it is evening, you say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, it will be stormy today, for the sky is red and threatening. You know how to interpret the appearance of the sky, but you cannot interpret the signs of the times. An evil, an adulterous or wicked generation seeks for a sign, but no sign will be given to it, except the sign of Jonah, which if those who don't know who Jonah is, this is the prophet in the Bible that got swallowed by a whale and spit up on shore of the city that he was trying to run away from when God told him to go speak to them. So the sign of Jonah, what is the sign of Jonah? Well, I'll tell you this. Let's keep reading. O ye of little faith, do you not yet perceive? I'm sorry. I went ahead. Listen, let me pause real quick. Let's just unpack this real quick. The religious leaders came to Jesus and they're like, show us a sign. Let's see a sign. Let's see a sign from heaven. And God's like, Jesus was like, bro, there is nothing I can give you that would be good enough for you as a sign that I'm the Son of God. And he knew that. He was putting them to the test when he's like, yo, y'all religious leaders, nothing would be good enough for you if I showed it to you. But I'll tell you this, there will be one. And it's going to represent Jonah. This is going to really flip your lid. Jonah was commanded to go preach to Nineveh. He decided not to because he was like, nah, maybe he was racist. I don't know what it was, but Jonah was like, I ain't fucking with them Ninevians. He's like, I ain't trying to go hang out with them. That's not my people. So it actually says that when Jonah was sitting on an island, he actually paid a fare to go on an island to get away from where he was. He's sitting on an island, and there was someone that was giving him shade. And it says that God caused a worm to crawl out of the earth to kill the plant to take away Jonah's shade. This was Jonah's first warning. And then some other things happen, and then he gets swallowed by a whale. Now, if you look this up, it is actually scientifically possible for you to be swallowed by a whale and live. This actually happened to a man last year, which is kind of a sign, but anyways. And he says that the sign will be this, the sign of son of Jonah. In Jesus' time, what was he talking about? Jonah, if you read the story, he was in the belly of a whale for 3 days and came out. Jesus was in the tomb for 3 days and came out. So what Jesus is saying to the religious leaders at the time, he's saying, you just wait till I walk out that grave, big boy. Ain't no sign gonna, and even then you gonna question the sign. So pack it up. That's how Jesus would talk to the religious leaders, straight up. He did not like those motherfuckers. Jesus had no time for nobody talking shit, especially religious people. He would shut that up real quick. Talk about you need a sign. I'll show you the sign when I walk out the grave, homeboy. So why do I bring that up? Well, there's a lot of things that you could do in this world. And there's a lot of people who will lie to you and tell you that you can do anything. You cannot do anything. You can do what God has gifted you to do. But that's another conversation. But you start to walk in your gifts. You start to walk in your identity and you feel like it's right. I'm telling you this because there will be people who come along to try to question you about your identity. And they might even be people that are in positions of power. Like the Pharisees and the Sadducees, the religious leaders at the time who said, Jesus, give us a sign. Why don't you go give us, make us something appear for us to know that you're the Son of God. The reason he didn't entertain that bullshit is because he knew who he was. And he didn't need them to believe that for it to be true. That's why he said it's a wicked and sinful generation that asks for a sign, because if you knew who I was, you wouldn't be asking shit. You would just watch. It's really what Jesus was saying. That's the Moonkid translation, but if you want to get real into the semantics with it, yeah, that's what he's saying. You are great, and you have greatness in you. Maybe it hasn't been tapped in yet. Maybe you don't know who you are yet. Maybe you're watching this and you're like, Moonkid, I'm just trying to get through today. Good. I'm proud of you. And that's why I'm here to instill you with an identity that says you can be loved without accomplishing much. You can be loved without making millions of dollars. Because I'm telling you this right now, you'll get to that point. You'll get the followers. You'll get the money. You'll get everything you ever wanted and realize that it wasn't what you needed for your soul to stay consistent through the storms. And there will be storms. Like 1 Peter says, don't be surprised when you're suffering as if something strange is happening to you. That's in 1 Peter 3. You can go read it. Because this kind of suffering is being experienced all throughout the world. That is a redeeming word, man. That's a redeeming word. But I love you guys, man. We're going to keep hanging out. I'm kind of feeling this out here as our first, technically our second podcast. We're just going to be putting out a whole lot more of these lives where I'm talking and we're vibing. Again, to anybody joining this, even if you're a skeptic, if you're a non-believer, I encourage you, feel free to ask me questions. Feel free to type in the chat. If you got questions about the Bible, you got questions about God, you got uncertainties or doubts, you are welcome. Even if you're watching this afterwards, feel free to comment on the video. We always keep all of our live streams in the live tab, VODs. So please know that you are welcome here, and you are welcome to ask questions of what others would consider offensive to God. God ain't gonna be offended, bro. I'll tell you this. I'm close with homie. He'll let me know if you offend him, and I don't think he's gonna be offended anytime soon. All right? Because the Bible is filled with countries and kings and nations that chose to take up offense to God. And you'd be hard pressed to remember them right now. Because God done sent his angels to them cities and said, what's up? What's up? What y'all shit you talking? Like, you know? But I'm just saying, my God is merciful. He is loving. You feel me? And I praise God for this channel straight up. I ain't afraid. I ain't afraid of nobody. For real. Like the time, all of the old gods have died. All of the old gods have gone. Jesus still walking, breathing here today. You feel me? And his words are still affecting my heart. The words of Moloch or the words of Baal ain't affecting me, bro. They ain't freeing me out of my depression. I'm sorry. Them some bum ass niggas. Them some wooden gods that can't do shit for you. You feel me? But these was guys that they was all worshiping back in the day. And you may wonder, well, why was he so violent towards these nations? Bro, these motherfuckers was sacrificing children back then. So yeah, he gonna send an army in there to wipe y'all out in the Old Testament. Yeah, he gonna dash them babies against rocks because he don't want no more generations of these stupid motherfuckers coming through here thinking that they can keep sacrificing y'all so that they can get some. Nah, we ain't doing that. We don't do none of that shit. And that's my thing. I'm here to defend all the people who have been bombarded with the fake truth about God, bombarded with the fake Christianity, and bombarded with the persecution of the fake Jesus. That's not it, bro. Jesus, his ops were the religious leaders at the time. You gonna tell me that the most religious people standing today wouldn't also be his opposition? Hello? Hello? Don't trust them religious people, man. Take it to your own study. Like Paul mentions in the Bible, and commends in the Bible a group of people called the Bereans. You can look this up. It's in 1 Corinthians. Who challenge everything he says. That's in the Bible, y'all. That's in the Bible. What to do, Dino Bros? 100 XP. Hope you're doing all right, bro. But you know, man, we can't let these things break us down. We can't let people's opinions break us down. Like I said, people will test your identity. They did it to Jesus. They was talking about, show us a sign. Show us a sign so we really know you, God. And he's like, I'm good, because nothing will be good enough for y'all. And I already know that I'm God. That's what he said. That's what Jesus said. He's like, I don't need to prove myself to y'all. Like, you think he would have done it and been like, oh wait, maybe I am God. Like, nah, bro, he ain't playing into that shit. And we not either. We gonna root ourselves in things that they can't touch. Love, kindness, humility, patience, endurance. These are the qualities you want to have. Not fame, not being funny. Ain't shit funny when your parents die, bro. Ain't shit funny when your kid dies, bro. That is a good question. Usually around the 2-hour mark, it seems that YouTube, it's a weird thing for YouTube. Feel free to follow on Twitch, Moonkid07 on Twitch. I don't know why it does this, Dino, but sometimes it'll green screen out my live stream like I ain't there. In my personal opinion, I think they do it to like deter people. They don't want people to talk about God on here. It's probably why, like, I really believe that personally, but because it doesn't happen on Twitch. If you go on Twitch right now, you're going to see my face. Guaranteed. But for some reason on YouTube, when we start talking real, our screen goes green. I'm not sure why, but feel free to drop a like on this. Feel free to subscribe. But feel free to hop on over to twitch.tv/moonkid07. Drop a follow on there. For any time that these live streams cut out on YouTube, I can promise you it won't cut out on Twitch. They be cutting out live streams of people talking about God, but not the live streams of people getting naked. So we appreciate that. I gotta show my titties for them not to cut me off. I guess that's the new deal in the world. Unless you embarrass yourself or make a fool of yourself in some way, they don't want you. They don't want you making stuff. But I say fuck that, for real. They've been doing this to me for a minute, trying to green my screens out on YouTube and all this shit. But that's cool. That's fine. We ain't worried about it. We still gonna talk our truth about God. You feel me? We still gonna do our thing in regards to how we feel about our faith. We ain't gonna back down from that. That's weird. But I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you guys joining here today. We're gonna keep on going. Moonkid07 on Twitch, like I said. For anybody watching right now, if it is green screened out, this is a YouTube glitch. Feel free to hop on over to either x.com, Moonkid007, Moonkid07 on Twitch. You'll find the same one. No worries. Dino, I appreciate you following. I appreciate you helping out. We're still, and like I said, we're gonna still be streaming on YouTube. No worries about the green screen, because really we're just here to listen anyways. But if you do want to see my face, you'll have to go onto Instagram, Moonkid007. Same thing on Twitter or X, or feel free to also follow on twitch.com. Excuse me, twitch.tv/Moonkid07. Feel free. Appreciate you guys joining in. This is a good day today. This is a day to be thankful. This is a day to relish in the peace that we have, to relish in the safety that we have. Like the fact that someone isn't beating the living shit out of us right now, or threatening our lives is a blessing in and of itself. The lack of violence is actually a blessing from God. And I'm grateful for it, so that when and if violence were to ever come, to our soil, God forbid, to our homes, that I would still have the practice of recognizing God. So that no matter what folds, no matter what crumbles, no matter what falls away, I still got this same thing. This is why it's important, yo. This is exactly why faith in God is so important. You can call me corny, you can say I'm yapping, I don't care. It's probably not for you, because the Bible tells me that God hardens your hearts on purpose. So if you're hearing this and hardening your heart to it, guess what? God's doing that, not me. He can get you at another time. But for those who have their hearts open to this and they listening, yeah, man, today is the day to be grateful. Don't let nothing deter you from gratitude. Don't let nothing deter you from humility. Don't let nothing deter you from faith. Faith is stronger than fear. Faith is stronger than fear. Love is stronger than darkness. Love is stronger than pain. Power at its best is love. Martin Luther King said that, and I choose to believe that. Power at its best is love. Man, I just lift up anybody watching this, man. Whether it be right now, in this moment, or afterwards. May God bless you. May He keep you. May He cause His face to shine heavily upon you and give you peace. Thank you, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. We're going to start up another one. So for those who are diligently following me, you want to be on the live stream as we're doing it, make sure you hit the bell notification on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, because then you're going to get the notification for when we're going live. Sometimes, and this is for my YouTubers, sometimes YouTube does not actually notify you when I'm going live. So you do have to hit the bell notification, and even sometimes after that, it won't notify you. So a lot of times, just feel free to check in on the page day to day. And if you miss the live, brothers, do not worry. Don't worry. We keep every single live up on the channel so that you guys can watch it afterwards. Even ones like this where it's green screened, we're going to keep it up because of the value that it holds for you guys. So let's go ahead and end this one, guys. I love you guys. I'll be right back, all right? God bless you guys. Let's have a great day.